How's it going, my evil residents? Today I'm doing another stupid tier list along the lines of my Resident Evil characters aura tier list. I'm gonna do which Resident Evil locations would be the best dodgeball arena. I know, this sounds stupid, but I promise it's interesting. Please stick around. So what are the criteria for this? What criteria establishes a good dodgeball arena? Well, I'm thinking like a standard 5v5 or 6v6 dodgeball arena, just your standard playground rules. If you catch a ball that somebody throws without it bouncing, that person who threw the ball is out. If you hit someone with the ball without it bouncing, they're also out. Just standard playground rules. And the goal is to get the whole other team out with standard dodgeballs, of course, that make the noise, you know the noise. So the tiers I put this into are S tier is perfect for dodgeball. I mean, it means I put it here if I have no complaints about it. Might break a window, which means it works, but something might get broken in the process. Works in a pinch. You can play dodgeball here, but it's just going to be kind of okay. The balls are in danger. This means that wherever you're playing dodgeball, the dodgeballs might, it might just be such a dangerous area that they just might get poked, or you might step on a piece of glass, something like that. Why play dodgeball at this point? The arena is so bad for dodgeball that you just shouldn't play it here. There's no chance that anyone is going to have fun, but everyone wants to play dodgeball, so you're playing it anyway here. Don't know why. And then F tier obviously is cancel the game. Don't play dodgeball here under any circumstance. No one will have fun. Someone could die. So these are the categories, and of course, for all of these, I'm going to take them as they are in the game that they appear in. I've picked 2 locations from every Resident Evil game, just to kind of get a balance without going over too many locations, making this video stupidly long. But I picked the most iconic locations I could think of for each one. For a couple games it was a little hard, and I could see someone picking a different location. But these are the ones I picked. Anyways, let's start with RE0. We are going to do the Ecliptic Express and the training facility. Now, the Ecliptic Express. The thing about this one is it's narrow. It's really narrow. I don't think you're going to be able to comfortably fit 10 to 12 people in here without there being some crowding. So you might only be able to do like a 2v2, 3v3 type situation on here. So I'm going to say, but I don't think there's anything really sharp or dangerous in here unless you play in like the kitchen area. But I'm assuming you'd be playing in one of just the cedar cars. So I'm going to put Ecliptic Express in works in a pinch. Because, like, you could play it here, but it's just going to be okay. And then the training facility. The training facility is another tough one, because keep in mind there's no enemies. So, the thing about the training facility is that it's meant for people to train in. Like, it's going to be durable. Yeah, it's decorated up the wazoo. And there's probably some cool and epic antiques in here, but the end goal of it is for training. So I'm actually gonna, especially with that big courtyard area, not courtyard. Actually, yeah, there is an outdoor courtyard up on the roof. There's that area by the fountain, and there's right at the entrance the big area with the stairs. Those areas will be pretty good for dodgeball, maybe a little cramped. So I'm gonna put it in might break a window, because again, you might just break a window. You might break a vase or something. Moving on to Resident Evil 1. We got the Spencer Mansion, and I picked the guardhouse as the second location. And yes, this does include the Aqua Ring. The Spencer Mansion, I'm going to put this one in... I'm going to put it in might break a window as well, with the training facility. Because, actually, you know what? I'm going to put this in the balls are in danger. Because there's a lot of sharp objects in the Spencer Mansion, more so than the training facility. So while the big central area is very clear and nice to play dodgeball in, there's lots of candles, there's lots of breakable stuff in there, more so than the training facility. The training facility is meant for training, and the stuff in there probably isn't as valuable. The actual Spencer Mansion, that stuff is valuable. You don't want to damage that stuff. So I'm going to put that in the balls are in danger. No, I'm going to put it in works in a pinch. Everyone's going to be playing, but it's going to be sketchy, and people are going to be more worried about hitting something than actually hitting another player. Next up, the guardhouse. That big room right before you fight Plant 42 in the Play 42 room. I'm gonna say it. Perfect for dodgeball. Yeah, there's some antiques in there, but they're behind thick glass that's meant for display. I'm sure they could take a dodgeball hit. All you would have to do is move that middle table out of the way, and you're golden. I think that's going to be a fun dodgeball game. But is it going to be a little bit cramped? Yeah. But otherwise, I think it's as good as we're going to get, at least for these older games. Next up, Resident Evil 2. We got the RPD, and we got Nest. Now, Nest, I'm actually going to put in the balls are in danger. Because the only areas that are clear enough to play dodgeball in have giant cavernous holes in the ground. If someone throws a ball and you dodge it successfully, good on you. It's just going to go in a pit, and you're never going to see that ball again. So I'm going to put Nest in the balls are in danger. You could play it, but everyone has to be careful about where they are throwing their balls. And the RPD. I'm going to put this in why play dodgeball at this point, because genuinely, there is no good place to play dodgeball in the entire RPD. You could maybe argue that area on the roof, but you could easily throw a ball over the fence. There's a flaming helicopter there. It doesn't sound good. Plus, it's raining. It's raining out there. You don't want to play dodgeball while it's raining. So just why play dodgeball at this point? Like, you could play it there, but it doesn't sound fun. And the central RPD area has too many stairs and the giant statue in the way. It's the only area I can think of is that one rooftop area, and that still wouldn't be that good. Next up, Resident Evil 3. We have Raccoon City Streets, specifically that central area where Jill almost gets crushed by the giant head, and the roundabout by the clock tower, in front of the clock tower that got cut from the remake. Raccoon City Streets, I'm going to put this in Works in a Pinch, because there's debris everywhere, and I don't know how... The balls are going to bounce everywhere. Okay, the balls are going to bounce everywhere. So no, I'm going to put this in the balls are in danger because of the debris. The debris might pop some of the dodgeballs, and that doesn't sound too nice. You'd have to replace your dodgeballs. No thank you. So I think that's pretty comfortable. The balls are in danger. Clock tower, roundabouts. This one I'm going to put in... You know what? There's not much debris in that area. It's a very clear open space. I think it's perfect for dodgeball. Now, if we were doing inside the clock tower, I'm going to put why play dodgeball at this point. But this is the area out front of the clock tower from the remake where you fight Dog Nemesis. I'm going to put that in perfect for dodgeball. I think it's pretty inarguable. Next up, Resident Evil 4. We got the Spanish Village, and we got Salazar's Castle. There's a couple of areas in Salazar's Castle that I think would be good for dodgeball, but everything in that castle is so valuable that I'm just going to put it in Might Break a Window just because of how valuable everything is in there. Yeah, there's some spots where it's like, yeah, you can play dodgeball there, but with how old that castle is, the bricks themselves are valuable. Just with how old this castle is and how large and massive it is. So everything there is sensitive. So I think it's safe to say that goes in Might Break a Window. Now for the Spanish Village. This one I'm going to put in also in Might Break a Window. Actually, no. I'm not. Because if you're playing dodgeball, as long as they're not burning the cop in the middle, that is a wholly clear area to play dodgeball in. Where the ground is dirt, and it might be a little muddy, but we're playing with no bounce rules, so that doesn't even matter. So I'm going to put this in perfect for dodgeball. I genuinely think that would be a fun place to play dodgeball in. Next up, Resident Evil 5. Public Assembly, a big holdout area right at the beginning of the game. We got the Marshlands, which is kind of the free roam area. I figured these were the two most iconic locations in the game, and the volcano obviously would have gone in and canceled the game. So I didn't even want to talk about that one. But the Marshlands. The area I'm thinking of that would be good for dodgeball is the area where you go up there's the two ladders and you have to do the team jump. And you can send Sheva up to grab the idol or the piece of the crest. That's the area I'm thinking of that would be good for dodgeball. That or Chicken Island. And either way, I'm going to put those in the balls are in danger. Because those fences are pointy. The roofs are made of pointy straw, and something could break. All the stuff that the balls could break would also break the balls, so I think the balls are in danger. Now, public assembly. This one was tough because there's lots of clear space, but it's right in like a market area, and you could definitely break something and just like damage some innocent shopkeeper's fruit stand. That doesn't sound too fun, so I'm gonna put this one not in might break a window because that implies that you just might cause light damage. This could cause serious damage. I'm gonna put this in works in a pinch. You could play dodgeball here, but everyone would have to be super careful about what they're doing. Next up, Resident Evil 6. This is the hardest one to pick locations for. I ended up picking Streets of Adonia, where you fight the big giant boss with the thing out of its neck that you have to pull on with the quick time event, and the underwater laboratory, where you fight the big squid guy that I forget the name of right now, where Pierce fucking dies. So, underwater laboratory. I'm gonna say it. I know. This is insane. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. The underwater laboratory. That glass in that laboratory is not breaking under any circumstance. No dodgeball. Unless Chris Redfield himself is throwing that dodgeball, nobody's breaking that glass. It's glass meant to hold the pressure of the literal ocean. There's no way a dodgeball is breaking that. Everything else in the area is metal. So, I think this is a great place to play dodgeball. I think it's perfect. Streets of Adonia. I'm going to put this in might break a window. Because you just might break a window. Otherwise, it's perfect. But the parents are going to be huffing and puffing about it the whole time. And yeah, I think those two are pretty cut and dry. So, I'm just going to move on to what my Discord was talking about would be the best place is the Baker Estate. And I also included the boat wreck because I literally could not think of another location in this game to include. Boat wreck obviously goes and cancel the game because nobody wants to play dodgeball on a rusty boat. Nobody wants to play dodgeball on a rusty boat in the middle of the sea. That's not even level in most areas. You're gonna get tetanus playing here, so let's just ignore the boat wreck. Baker Estate. This one goes in perfect for dodgeball because of that middle area where the RV is, where Zoe's RV is. It's so perfect. Zoe just has to move her RV over a little bit. Even then, you can still play. You don't even have to move the RV, but if you want the maximum play space for the maximum amount of people, just get that out of the way. You could do up to an 8v8 dodgeball match. That would go insanely hard. I think, in retrospect, I overrated the guardhouse. I'm going to put this in might break a window. Because you might break a window. It's more fragile than the rest of these locations here. Oh, I accidentally rotated that. More fragile than the rest of these locations here. So I'm just going to move it down one. Yeah, I think that's better. If you disagree, feel free to let me know in the comments. Anyways. Moving on to Resident Evil Village. We have Castle Dimitrescu. We have Heisenberg's Factory. So, Castle Dimitrescu is going to go on the same tier as Salazar's Castle, because they're both just ancient castles where the structure itself is so valuable that even like the bricks are valuable. You don't want to damage anything here unless you're Lady Dimitrescu and you feel like throwing your nightstand. But at that point you own it, so do whatever you want. Either way, I can't really think of a location here that would be good for dodgeball besides like the entryway, but even then you could still probably break something. Anyways, moving on to the last location, we got Heisenberg's Factory. So, at first I thought, no, this goes and cancel the game. There's no spot in that factory that would be good for dodgeball. But then I remembered where you fight Heisenberg in that giant open field. Yeah. A giant, flat, empty, open field. Nothing breakable around. Fenced in. I know. Perfect for dodgeball. That's what I'm saying. So, what I learned from this is that there are lots of locations in the Resident Evil series that are great for dodgeball. Like, you got 10 locations here to pick from. They can play dodgeball in as long as there's no zombies there. They would be fun. You know what? These two castles, I think I'm going to move them down to works in a pinch. Because they just, I don't know, because of how valuable everything in them is, I would be so paranoid about breaking stuff that I just don't want to do that. So, yeah, I think this is better. So, the perfect for dodgeball areas are going to be the Clock Tower Roundabout in Raccoon City, the Spanish Village, Underwater Laboratory from Resident Evil 6, the Baker Estate, and Heisenberg's Factory. The Might Break a Window tier is going to be these three. I think the weirdest one here is the Streets of Adonia, because it's the middle of a bustling area. Obviously, when there's no zombies around invading the place, there's going to be a lot of people living here. So that's why that one goes there. These ones all work in a pinch, basically, because they're either too cramped in the case of the Ecliptic Express, or there's just too much stuff here. There's just too much valuable stuff around that if you break it, you buy it, and that sounds horrible. Balls are in danger. These are literally just places where the dodgeballs are going to get damaged or just go in the water in the case of the marshlands. So, yeah. RPD. I forgot to put a fucking border on this one. I'm so stupid. Anyway. Why play dodgeball in the RPD? Don't do it. The one good place outside that's good to play dodgeball in, it's raining. You don't want to play dodgeball there. So, I don't think that one works. And then cancel the game. Don't play dodgeball in a boat wreck. If you take one thing away from this video, if people ask you, why are you watching this video is pointless. The life lesson you took from it is don't play dodgeball on the wreckage of a boat. That is the life lesson of this video. So if anyone asks why you're wasting your time watching this video, just tell them that. They'll understand. Anyways, that's going to do it for this one. If you like this video, this stupid ass video, leave a like. If you disliked it, feel free to dislike it. I do have channel memberships on the channel if you want to support me more directly for making stupid bullshit videos like this. Most of my other videos are much more structured, but I had this idea, but I knew the idea was too stupid to spend a significant amount of time on, so I just threw together a tier list type thing here. Follow me on Blue Sky. I have Discord if you want to join the community. Special shout out to all of my members, my harmless residents, and another shout out to my nefarious resident, Guy Incognito, and a very, very, very special shout out to my malevolent resident, Nana Dracula TV. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Stay evil, my residents.